Hello, infidels. Okay, now, in all seriousness. Right, I'm going to talk about this fucking idiot, our friend Darth Dawkins, aka Gary fucking Mill. Hey, Gary F. Mill, Gary fucking Mill. That's good. Right, so in this occasion, I am, let me put the other, change. We are going to talk, I'm going to talk about Darth Dawkins' claim about what is being agnostic, basically, right? So I'm going to review Darth Dawkins Debunked video. We're going to watch a Darth Dawkins Debunked video, but reviewing Darth Dawkins' comments, and also ask yourself, Tom Rabbit, not because he just talks at the end a little bit, right? But 90% is ask yourself talking to Darth Dawkins, right? So without further ado, let's get on with it. Right, that's the video, and let's start playing it, okay? And then I would go, and because I've got some graphics and whatnot, and explaining my own point of view, what the fuck that piece of shit Darth Dawkins is talking about.
Is the agnostic position
right? He says, is the agnostic position, right? So he's asking a question where he very well knows what the position is, but he's just being a fucking dick.
To say, I don't know that any God does or does not exist.
That is incorrect. Okay, let me debunk him out of the fucking gate. Okay, by showing a text. Right, this is the Merriam-Webster's, one of the dictionary websites that Darth Dawkins uses, right? Because he likes to use the philosophical bullshit things, right? And in this case, we're gonna check it, what agnostic is, right? And there's two terms, this one here and this one, and this one here, this one, right? So Darth Dawkins is going to touch the second part, right? And he's going to say, because it's not, the first one is about ultimacy, right? But this one, Darth Dawkins is attacking the existing or non-existing. But what he's missing, the vital couple of words, is that who is not committing to believe either, this is the killer, either existent or non-existent, right? He's the person, the agnostics doesn't give a fuck if it's true or not, if the claim is positive or negative, if the claim is A or B. He doesn't care. He doesn't know. He's not committed to an action to say yes or no. He's in the middle, right? That person is not negating or affirming that whatever other person is talking about is true or not. That's the whole fucking point. But this piece of shit, Darth Dawkins, is talking about the actual end of it. He's talking about this, right? And omitting the most important part. Who is not committed to believing either. It's so fucking important, that is, right? And this piece of shit. Okay, let's carry on.
Is that the agnostic position?
Wait, I'm happy to answer, but I asked first. I want to know what the contradiction is. What?
Right, ask yourself, is just went on a fucking tangent. What is a contradiction? Right? So my guess is that why he's asking the contradiction is P or not P, God or not God. Okay, what's the contradiction there? But that's not the point. The point is, which I think that's the first failure, big failure that he asks yourself commit, is that he doesn't address the and is broadly known, right? So generic, mega generic, one who is not committed to believing either the existent or non-existent. It's just a belief factor at the moment because they don't know, right? So anyway, let's carry on.
Propositions form the contradiction.
The contradiction is that they don't know that any God exists, but it follows from that Christianity
No, it's not commit to believe.
is false, and since it follows from that, then they know the Christian God doesn't exist.
Wrong. That is a dishonest approach from the agnostic side of it. Absolutely freaking dishonest.
Wait, but so the contradiction... Sorry, I mean...
You see, ask yourself, is still fixed in the contradiction.
It's going to get pedantic, so we can stop here if you want, but I don't understand what
It's a contradiction by implication.
Right. Contradiction by implication. I needed to actually check this, right? No, let me carry on because I'm going to mention something special about explicit versus implicit.
The contradiction is not explicit, it is implicit.
Right, implicit, right? So the contradiction is not explicit, it's not direct, right? But let's get his shit right. What is he talking about? Right? They use explicit and implicit. Explicit describes something that is very clear and without vagueness or ambiguity. So Daft Talk is not choosing this route. He's using the implicit, implies. Yeah, implies or often function as the opposite, referring to something that is understood but not described clear or directly. So that's the ambiguity apart from Daft Talking. Often using implication or assumption. Basically, assumption is guessing. Right? That's the dishonest part of this scumbag, Gary Mill.
Right, but the contradiction is presumably P and not P. So I'm just wondering what P is supposed to be here.
Okay. The position is P, I don't know that any God exists.
No, that's not it. That's not the contradiction. Okay, remember? Who is not committed? He's not saying, I don't know. I'm not committed to know. No, I'm not committed to believe. Not even fucking knowing. I'm not committed to believe.
Okay, and not P.
From that.
Okay, let's get it because I cut it halfway.
Okay. The position is P, I don't know that any God exists.
Okay, and not P.
From that.
No, and not P. What is not P?
From that, Christianity is defined as God being revelatory.
I have already made a video about this silly bollocks. Daft Talk is talking about defining his shit God into existence. To be quite honest, you cannot be any more dishonest than that, right? You cannot stop making fucking shit up. Father Christmas, I'm defining Father Christmas as the ultimate being, yeah, or the fairy godmother, or Thor for all that fucking matter, right? Daft Talkies, you're a fucking loser, right? Don't use shit arguments, right, to poof your God into existence. That's lame. Absolute fucking lame.
Okay. If agnosticism is true,
it's not a true position. It's a position of neutrality. Do you understand? Right? Let me check my favorite basketball, pressure ball, right? If you do not see this, right, I will say, Daft Talk is, do I have a basketball on my hand? Yeah, you will say, I don't have, I'm not going to commit in knowing or believing that you have it or you don't have it. I said, okay, cool. Right? Simple. Yeah, I'm not going to fucking argue, oh, you don't really fucking believe this or you don't really fucking believe that. You actually believe this because the contrary is being stupid, right? Or something like that, what he says. But it's fucking atrocious the way he approached.
Then it necessarily follows the falsity of the Christian God.
That's wrong. That's dishonest.
But why is it relevant if it follows the falsity of the Christian God? How does that get to a contradiction?
Does it necessarily follow, if agnosticism is true, that the Christian God is false?
No, because they are claiming that they're not committed either way. The committed is the magic word. Yeah, either way. They're committed to believing in either way. So they don't give a shit, basically. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they don't care if it exists or it doesn't exist.
If the argument...
Oh, Daft Talk is, by the way, I already fucking debunked your bullshit description of what agnostic is. So, there is that.
I think so if the argument is something like, if the Christian God exists...
Right. He's talking about now a syllogism, right? So let's switch to his syllogism. Let's where are we? The dictionary off, text on. Right. That so AY is ask yourself, and TR is Tom Rabbit. So because Darth Dawkins is ask yourself is going to stipulate the syllogism, right? And Tom Rabbit is going to do it afterwards. I'm just going to put it all together and leave it here because it is important.
And everyone knows he exists. Someone doesn't know he exists. Therefore, the Christian God doesn't exist. Right? You could set up like a modus.
You could put it that way.
Remember, he says you could put it that way. So, for as far as Darth Dawkins is concerned, is a valid and sound.
Yeah. Does it necessarily follow if the agnostic statement is true, then it necessarily follows from that the Christian God does not exist?
No, because they don't hold to a position of certainty or anything like that. They're not committed. Period. So it could be either way. Actually, it depends on what you say to them. How can you prove it? Right? You're always trying to shift the burden of proof, right? Or shift the blame. Better blame. You cannot prove shit, right? So you're trying to put pressure on the recipient. You're always attacking and never defending because you cannot defend your fucking God because you are a loser, right? I'm telling you in your fucking face, you are a loser, right? So no, you can't defend it. So you always have to attack.
Going with your interpretation of the God, but yes, I think so.
Okay. Well, then the agnostic then knows that at least one creator God does not exist.
No.
How is it that... Wait, but what are the... I'm still lost on what the contradiction is. Which proposition forms the contradiction?
Because the Christian God is defined.
See, now he's defining it into existence. That's what I was talking about definition. Right? Well, not definition, defining it.
As being revelatory.
Who gives a shit? Right? Seriously, who gives a shit what you define your imaginary friend as? You could make him have wings, yeah? Have a 12-inch plonker, right? Although your main man God is a man and he's never fucked a woman anyway. So there's that as well.
And having made his existence known.
How? By circular argument, right? By begging the question, right? Everything that you know about the Bible is because you have either you've been indoctrinated, you've been gullible about it because you lost money and you are fucking bankrupt. You have to study the Bible to actually talk bullshit out of your fucking ass every fucking day. Right, out of your mother's basement. You are definitely a loser, right? How the fuck can you talk to people like that and get away with it? You're not gonna get away with it. You're a scumbag. SOB.
If the agnostic truly does not know that any God exists, then the Christian God is false.
Yeah, but I'm not
Okay, now what you just heard, that was...
The Almighty One is speaking. Let it be.
A conversation that Darth had with someone that goes by the name of Ask Yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The name of the video is Ask Yourself versus Darth Dawkins on Agnosticism. It's on YouTube. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you just heard Darth. He agreed with Ask Yourself when Ask Yourself put it in a specific form. Darth agreed to that and said, yes, you could put it that way. Now, watch what happens in the conversation that Darth had with Tom Rabbit, because the same thing came up.
Which is the green syllogism. Okay, take note of the green is what Tom Rabbit says, right? almost identical what Ask Yourself self said.
Exact same thing. Watch this. Take notice of how Darth masterfully shifts. He shifts on his own definition or on his own conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
He shifts on something that he already agreed with Ask Yourself about. Watch this. And remember, Darth Dawkins is transparent, and he is a theist who doesn't lie.
Okay, how is it that God does not exist?
Right. Well, I'll tell you exactly why. If God exists, then I know that God exists.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that God exists. Conclusion: God does not exist.
Okay,
By your lights. By your lights.
that doesn't follow then that there are no gods.
If you could put it this way with Ask Yourself, you cannot say the opposite. Okay, you cannot say does not follow. That's the whole point about Darth Dawkins. He talks too much, right? People, intelligent people like Darth Dawkins Debunked, takes notes, right? And sooner or later, this idiot Darth Dawkins, aka Gary fucking Mill, right? He fucks up and says actually not slightly different, but complete opposite, right? Actually, complete opposite. Right? You cannot say you put it that way to Ask Yourself and says that it does not follow. Right? Because it did follow with Ask Yourself. So you are contradicting yourself. You don't know what the fuck agnosticism is. Right? And that's it. And the reason for this, and the final reason, is because simply he talks out of his fucking ass every day, bullying the fuck out of people on Discord, especially the politics server. Right, that Doobie licks his ass sideways. Right, he lets in his room. He lets people being bullied. Right, but you got suckers that go to his room, yeah, and get annihilated. Right, but this coward cannot make a video of his own. Right, and come explain it. He just makes fucking mistake after mistake after mistake. And with that, thank you, Darth Dawkins Debunked, for this video. Thank you for letting me review it. And you guys, infidels, until next time. Catch you later.